We have an accounting system. We have a point of sale system. We have production management for manufacturing. We have equipment rental and event management. We have project management. We have EDI and XML connectivity. And we have the mobile. I think that's, oh, and we have e-commerce. So all of these are major modules. They all have a defined purpose. You know, these things usually are sold separately. So that's the financial part of it. We have the basic system. And then each one of these things are like add-on. So they don't have to, people don't have to buy these, but certain companies, business types will want them. So the design of it was to not make everybody have everything, but to offer different things that fit for different types of companies. Does that make sense? So within a business system, there is contact management, products and inventory management, sales management, purchase management, fulfillment, order processing, invoicing, payment processing, staff management, accounts payable, disbursements, general ledger, and it looks like this. You know, so basically, here's the main module, and then all of these things can plug in and add flexibility, add extensibility, portability, and so forth. And then here's the drawing. So these are defined by vertical markets. So each of these things might be suited to a different vertical market, some of them. Some of them are defined by data entry portals like the EDI, and XML enables our clients to connect to big procurement sites like Amazon or Walmart or Conoco or whatever, so that they can basically get their orders downloaded and their system, and all their orders go directly into our system. So it's a separate module that we sell, and it stands by itself almost, but it needs to be plugged into something to make it really work. And it has a clear functionality. So here's a sample module design of the business system and the flow of the module design. So basically, we start with contacts and products as the foundation, and products lead to inventory, and contacts lead to calendar appointments and activities. And so those feed into sales, and when a sale is made in our system, it then can create a purchase order, a sales order, a work order, or a production order, depending upon the modules that they have. So all that automation by module makes our system really powerful, because jumping off from the sale point, they don't have to do any more data entry, and it just adds all this value that they can do all this automation. So it leads from sales, purchase, fulfillment, and invoices. If it's a service company, we would have work orders out here. If it was a manufacturing company, we'd have production orders here. And then it goes to invoices, and then payments, and then this whole thing wraps into the accounting module. And then the EDI module would feed into here, would be another thing feeding in. You have the EDI or the XML, and the web orders, the e-commerce, or the iPhone orders, they would come into here. So any questions about this design? So the design itself is based on functionality, but they're not necessarily the file structure. The file structure is different. We'll have one file for this and one file for this, but then one file for all these, and then have all sorts of line items is separate. So all the line items go to each of these things. I mean, that's just our file structure. I'm not saying we're not promoting it. I'm just saying that's how we've done it. And so that lays a strong foundation of clarity of function that we've tried to achieve, and makes sense. And so I'll show you, when we go into our system, how the modules look and they're set up. And then before I do that, one last slide is on customize the module. So basically, we have a separate module. It's called a customize module. that only has one-way relationships. So basically it sits out beside the system, and you create forms and reports in it, and then just pulls the data from the system into it. But if it didn't exist, or you didn't know any customizations, the system would be fine without it. So that's another example of using modularity to separate out things, and you put all the customization into a separate area. So I basically just said what these things are. So there you go, the 15 minutes.
Awesome.
So let me just show you our system. You would like to see it? I purposely did this for Lee's benefit, show the fusion charts built into our main screen. This is our main screen. I should start it up so I can show you our progress bar, but I think that point has been already covered. But I have a much simpler way of doing it than John does. We won't get into that. I don't want to come up against you. But anyway, so we have an overview. That same overview you saw on the iPhone is right here. So here's the basic overview of the system, and this is all controlled by the user. So each user has their own views in the system. So we have a user menu here, and basically the idea is, here's all the modules. So we have our business type here, and so you can select, this is our demo, and this demo is on your memory stick or your flash drive, whatever you call it. So you can come in here and I can choose distributor, and it shows you the modules for a distributor. If I pick manufacturer, it will show you different modules. If I pick event management or equipment rental. So, you know, when people come in want to buy my system, I didn't want to have to create a separate version for equipment rental, separate version for manufacturer, and have to maintain all the code and all these separate master versions. So what I'm trying to do is manage the module design by this interface device of having the modules, select the modules based on the business type. So that enables me to have basically 5 or 6 programs in one system, and the system will configure itself so that when I go to a layout, or I go into sales, I'm only going to see the modules that relate to that business type up top here. See how there was all the modules, and then now the modules disappeared up top. So I can control the modules by the business type, but then I also control them by the user. So when you go into our company preferences here, and you set up the user accounts, you see how down here, here's the username, and we have the user privilege set, and each user is assigned a role in the system, executive, manager, staff, and then that gets connected to a privilege set, which enables them to control what they can do in the system. And then this controls which modules they can see on that top menu. And it's also, the roles are going to also define what menus. We have these dynamic menus in the system. So the whole module design is my point is trying to show how that proliferates through the whole system, maintaining that control. If I didn't have the module design foundation, I wouldn't be able to have these features and offer it to the users and control the system without a clear module design. Any questions on that? So here are the business roles here. So you see how here are the 6 roles. And then they have the modules here. And then you have, like on that overview, I told you the overview